Thanks for staying tuned to our station, the Africa Independent Television, and welcome to your program, Security Watch Africa. On this channel, every week, we'll bring you that information you need to keep your life safe and secured. Welcome to the program today. Today, we'll be bringing you two reports and also interview via Zoom, which of a very important topic, a topic that will affect performance. I was talking about personnel welfare and effective performance. The Soldier First concept, that's a concept that was introduced by the current Chief of Army Staff, Nigerian Army, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede. But we will come to that discussion with our guest who is already online, waiting for the discussion to commence after this report put together by Elizabeth Tanko from the Defense Headquarters.
The Defense Headquarters, DHQ, this Thursday made clarifications on the lingering outstanding debarment payments, which led to protests by some retired soldiers protesting at the gate of the Federal Ministry of Finance in Abuja. This clarification was given by the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Marcus Kange. This was part of the bi-weekly media briefing on the operations of the Armed Forces of Nigeria.
Incessant protests by some discharged soldiers at the Federal Ministry of Finance. It will be recalled that the federal government of Nigeria implemented the new minimum wage for all federal government workers in July 2024. Before the implementation of the minimum wage, there was a chart based on which gratuity and security debarment allowance was calculated for soldiers, and then the minimum wage chart. So basically, there were two charts in 2024. The first chart was what we call pre-minimum wage chart, which was effective 1st January 2024 to 28 July 2024. Then the second chart was the real minimum wage chart, which took effect from 29th July to date. Gratuity and security debarment allowance for military personnel is calculated based on salary chart on the effective date on retirement. So if a soldier is retired today, the subsisting chart that his emolument will be calculated will be based on the chart today. If tomorrow another chart comes out, that soldier's emolument will not be calculated based on that. Unfortunately, the soldiers who retired between 1st January 2014 to 28 July 2024. I say again, those soldiers who retired from 1st January 2024 to 28 July 2024, before the implementation of the new minimum wage, wanted their gratuity and security debarment allowance to be calculated based on the new minimum wage chart. This cannot be done because the policy of the new minimum wage came into effect on 29th July. Thus, soldiers who fall within the category of pre-minimum wage chart are those soldiers who continually protest and construct barricades at the Federal Ministry of Finance, despite being educated on the two charts by Defense Headquarters.
On the operations of the troops of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, General Kange gave breakdown of successes recorded in the past 2 weeks by various theaters of operations.
In form of our operations during the month under review, troops eliminated some key terrorist commanders during firefights as well as through air bombardment. They have also arrested terrorists, kidnappers, and other criminals. The likes of Adamu Buba, otherwise known as My Panshin in Riyang, and Abdullah Abubakar, who have been terrorizing Rafiki village in Basa local government area of Plateau State, We are taking off while two suspected gun runners were arrested along Koi Kefi Road in Jama'a local government area of Kaduna State. Similarly, two suspected kidnappers identified as Mohammed Sanusi and Usman Al-Haji Bala were arrested in Obajana, Lokoja local government areas of Kogi State. The highlights from Operation Delta Safe during the period under review indicates that troops foiled oil theft worth over 545,872,819 naira only. The breakdown indicates about 619,236 liters of stolen crude oil, 106,170 liters of illegally refined automotive gas oil, and 5,785 liters of dual-purpose kerosene, as well as 2,650 liters of premium motor spirit. Additionally, they discovered and destroyed over 488 equipment and 97 illegal resigning sites. Troops conducted offensive operations in Shinkafi and Tafe local government areas of Zamfara State, as well as Isa, Bingi, and Turata local government areas of Sokoto State. They also conducted operations in Shanunu and Takai local government areas of Kano State, as well as Kaduna South, Makarafi, and Gaski local government areas of Kaduna and Kebbi states, respectively. Further, their operation to Manfashi local government areas of Katsina State, where they encountered and killed some terrorists and rescued 4 kidnapped victims. Some arms and ammunition were also recovered. Relatedly, our gallant troops responded to information about terrorist activities in Faskari and Sabwa local government areas of Katsina State, as well as Tangaza and Augi local government areas of Sokoto and Kebbi states, respectively. Meanwhile, on 30th August, a suspected terrorist was arrested while on transit in Borgu local government area of Niger State. During a thorough search, some ammunition, arms, motorcycle, and the sum of 321,000 naira were recovered on him. During the week, troops of Operation Enduring Peace responded to several distress calls about terrorist activities in subsectors. For instance, within the period of 30th August to 2nd September, troops conducted offensive operations and responded to distress calls on terrorist activities in Mangu, Jos North, Rayon, Kwampan, Barikiladi, Jos East, and Basa local government areas of the state, as well as Kaura local government area of Kaduna State. During the firefights, troops killed some terrorists, arrested 6 criminals, and rescued 2 kidnapped victims. Some weapons, ammunition, motorcycles, vehicles were also recovered from them. In another development, troops arrested a suspected kidnapper while withdrawing the sum of 3 million naira from a POS vendor in Basa local government areas on 30th August 2025. Troops of Operation Wild Straw recorded some successes in their area of responsibility during the week. They conducted operations between 31st August to 2nd September 2025 in Nasarawa, Kena, and Akwanga local government areas of Nasarawa State, as well as Logo, Agatu, Gwe West, Uku, Konde, and Katsina Ala local government areas of Benue State.
The director commended the troops for their commitment and the resolve in the fight against insecurity in Nigeria.
The Armed Forces of Nigeria remains fully committed to its constitutional mandate of defending the territorial integrity of our great nation, supporting civil authorities in maintaining internal security and ensuring peace and stability across all regions.
Elizabeth Ango, reporting for Security Watch Africa.
Welcome back. That was a really detailed report by Elizabeth Tanko from the Defense Headquarters on the successes recorded by the Armed Forces of Nigeria within the month of August. and we're now in September. The troops are still ready to go and take away all criminals. The report also did not reflect the achievements from Southeast and South. But I know that the troops are all over part of Nigeria, making sure that criminals do not hold innocent citizens hostage and ransom as it's been done today. Yes, like I said, we'll be discussing with a very important guest talking about Pastor Chukwuma Nwokocha, who is the founder of Chukwuma Nwokocha's ministry, a man that has devoted his time to particularly getting a society that gets it right, that is in the right path, and also with humanitarian activities, making sure that the less privileged get the right succor they deserve. He's here to tell us how effective proper welfare of personnel can help in improving performance. How are you? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm fine.
All right, sir. Sorry, you know, I'm sure you watched I don't know if you watched the
Yes, the
report,
documentary.
okay, and to
Yeah.
see what the armed forces have done, and it's also gladdening to know that part of the social first concept of the Army Chief of Army Staff is that there's been increase in the ration cash allowance that used to be 1,500 per day. It's been increased to 300 to 3,000 per day, even though some say that more should be paid. But let's hear from you. How important is it to actually take care of personnel that works daily to ensure that things are made proper, and in this case, in the security sector, how important is it to take care of our soldiers?
Okay, first and foremost, thank you for having me. I want to first of all appreciate the Chief of Army Staff for this kind of gesture, because these are the things that we're hammering on concerning the welfare of the military personnel, not only the military personnel, other security agencies. I want to say at least it's a big start. Whether they need more, yes, more will be added. And I believe with this kind of step, it will help cushion and help the soldiers and help the military to doing a perfect job. One, there are more to read. There are more to all this. There are more to read. We can talk about it in different ways. One, we talk about their mental health. Look at their mental health. Look at their addressing the personal issues they have. Looking at their housing and the rest. I believe that with what the Chief of Army Staff have done, if it is being carried up, looking at not just saying it, there's a difference between you said it. It has to follow up, making sure that these things get to the last set of people that we are talking about. It's a good start. I believe it's a good start. It's a good start.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. But part of the thing is also the thing. What happens all over the world is that when you give the security personnel the right tools and also motivate them, they intend to work better. And not only the military people, not only the security forces, even the civilians too. If you have people working with you or working for you, when they're motivated, I think this seems to improve. How do you see this in a larger spectrum of the country, Nigeria and Africa?
I believe for what the Chief of Army Staff have done, other security agents to also emulate from what he has done. Not only security agents, in different business owners, both ministries and the rest, they should emulate from what the Chief of Army Staff have done. I believe that if you do that, you are encouraging those who are really serving or working under that particular establishment or investment. And you should know that these are the people who are providing and making the money that use in running that particular company. If we can emulate what the Chief of Army Staff have done, there's a lot of improvement. You will see the workers working. You will see that a lot of mentally, spiritually, they will be sound. And when you send them to work, they will work perfectly well. That's another thing that bothers me so much, is that this sudden sack of people, when they work for you in a particular company, we are talking about the goodwill of the Chief of Army Staff now. What about individual companies, corporate organizations and the rest? When they work for you a little bit, one small thing, you will sack them, no retirement benefits, nothing, they will go there, and that is the end. You are discouraging that particular sector, and you are killing that particular sector. But with what the Chief of Army Staff have done, the Chief of Army Staff have encouraged us. We should emulate what he has done. And I believe that there's more to it. There's more he's going to add to it. Because on a more serious note, these soldiers, the military, the paramilitary, and the civilians, they need to be encouraged. It is when you encourage someone, the person can give the best. We're talking about the finances, in particular the education. Give the children scholarship. There's nothing wrong about it. Give the children scholarship. If somebody retirement, we have what's called retirement planning support and retirement packages. Retirement planning support is where you engage the soldiers. After they're about to retire, you engage them, create a department where you will engage them and set them up into business. You know, when they are coming out from being a soldier and to become a civilian. So set that department up that will help them. The other one is retirement packages, which is what the Chief of Army Staff has done, which is very good. But this sector of retirement planning support is what I want them to look into. If you retire, what happened next? They go to the outside the world. But there should be something linked to outside the world that will help them to improve in whatever. And you can also bring them back to train the junior staff, because those things you have done, it's a package, it's an advantage for us. Instead of you spending a lot of money looking for resources, those who's going to do, you have personnel that have served for years and retired with good performances. We should be able to do that and help them to bring them back to the system, to encourage them, and they will support the system. Another one is recognition. We talk about recognition and award. If you work and there's no recognition, there is nothing. We should have time to time recognitions and award where the personnel are being recognized for their good service, just like what the security watch is doing. You look at a very good soldier who have worked very well in his department or in whatever. So you recognize that person and give the person an award. That award encourage the soldier to work. The same thing about private sector. The same award goes to the private sectors also, so that such things can encourage everyone who is working. Because if you don't encourage them, there is nothing. Oh, you just pay them and that's it. There must be an encouragement so that it will help the system. Thank you.
Thank you so much. In fact, you just touched on two areas that will motivate us to do a full-fledged program. You talked about job security, which is very, very important. And the other aspect of retirement support. I know that there is an Armed Forces Resettlement Center, which is in Oshodi in Lagos, Lagos State, where retiring soldiers, about to retire soldiers or officers will go 3 months to their retirement to learn the life, whatever they would like to get involved in after they eventually retired. Though it's optional, it's not compulsory. Those who wish to are encouraged to go there. Those who do not want to can go on their retirement leave until they retire. So it's actually very important what you have just mentioned, Pastor. Let's look at our society generally, not only the security sectors now or the issue about welfare. Let's look, some people have said that the way the country is going with this hardship that being experienced currently, no matter how you plan, you may not be able to meet. How do you think government can help the citizens to ensure that lives get a bit more better so that people will not go into criminality? Because when people are hungry, when there are no jobs, when there are no food to eat, definitely some may want to go and get whatever they can eat by all means. What can you say to that, sir?
Well, that is where we come into what we talk about support. The Nigerian people do not need so much. We talk about security, we talk about housing, we talk about food. If you watch what is going on, once you give a Nigerian citizen these 3 points, you see them, they don't need so much. If you look at, I keep mentioning what the Chief of Army Staff has said. He talked about minimum wage, 2 sectors of minimum wage. Now, if you give minimum wage, let's just say, for example, 77,000 or 70,000 naira, and you increase something else, it takes that minimum wage away. Let's advise them to set up, on a more serious note, we need to set up a manufacturing company where individuals will be trained. If individuals are trained, you see production will increase. Because if you keep increasing the minimum wage and there's nothing that we are producing, on a more serious note, nothing will happen. It is when you introduce this aspect of, hey, let us manufacture things. Go train some sectors of people, some group of people, train them on so thing. Then they will employ other people. You will see this thing will start increasing one by one. Let's improve on their welfare. Let's improve on their welfare. Nigerians only need good roads. Nigerians only need food. Nigerians only need good housing. But unfortunately, if you talk about good housing, those, you know what I mean about, those people that they still have good house. They still be, if you talk about that, they will take over all the houses. Even if it's 2-bedroom flat, they will take 20. There must be eye monitoring these things. Nigerians don't need too much. But if you keep increasing the minimum wage and there's nothing that we are producing, I tell you, it will go back to zero again. We don't need so much. All we need is look at our welfare, look at our food. The cost of things are going high. The cost of housing are going high. The cost of everything is going high. What is making it to go high? Go back and check. Bring in those who knows about economy, who study economy, not just any kind. Somebody who studied Yoruba went and put the person in economy. Someone studied Hausa, went and put the person in economy. Somebody who studied Igbo, you went and put the person in economy in the university. No, bring in those that knows the economy. Bring them, sit them down, let them think about what do we do to change this suffering for Nigeria. It's not difficult. It's about those that knows what they are doing. But the issue is that they don't put this country first. If you look at what the Chief of Army Staff he said, soldiers first. If you are somewhere, you don't put Nigerians first. You don't put this citizen first. You don't put the Nigerians first. Then you are not supposed to be there.
Thank you.
You're not supposed to be there. If everybody can emulate what the Chief of Army Staff have said, soldiers first, the citizen first before any other person, the country first. Let's put our country first, not individual. One person is making billions of dollars. 3 people is making billions of dollars. It's not reaching to the lowest person. The only way we can change and reduce this insecurity is that when people are being engaged in one thing or the other, how many people have been engaged? How many people have been employed? These are the things we check.
Thank you.
How many numbers of people are employed? If you can look at it properly and start changing it gradually, it's not today's job on a more serious note. It's a matter of start first. When you start gradually, you will see total change in the whole environment. And you see Nigerians becoming happy. And when you work, they know.
Thank you so much, sir. In fact, really, you have really talked on the point that is very pertinent to the situation in our country, Nigeria, and our continent. Thank you so much, Pastor Chukwuma Onwokwocha, founder of Chukwuma Onwokwocha Ministries. It's a pleasure having you today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the episode we can offer now. Until we come away again next week, I said thanks for staying tuned and bye for now.